Funk patterns at the kit. We are now starting our funk unit, and this is the funk patterns on the kit. The essential funk pattern is the simplest pattern that we've done yet. It's just a simple rudimentary boom, crack, boom, crack, boom, crack. That's where we start this pattern. It can be counted 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, or as I have it indicated in your book, I have it on 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. One of the things that they say about the funk is that when the snare drops, it's almost hitting a flam's distance after the 2. It's just laid back off the 2 ever so gently. Give it the groove. This is a sort of mystical thing that funk drummers talk about, laying back, and it's similar to talking about laying back in jazz, laying back after the beat to give things a push and pull and a relaxed feeling. So with the boom crack, we can add our hi-hat to that, and we can add that with eighth notes, 1 and 2 and 3. Like that elemental pattern, which is sort of more a rock pattern, but the very basic elemental pattern is just boom, crack, with eighth notes on the hi-hat. Now, interestingly enough, the variation on the hi-hat is one of the things that can give the funk all different kinds of feelings. So one of the things you could program into Logic is experiment with different subdivisions on the hi-hat. You could do eighths, 1 and 2, and 1 and 3 and 4. You could do triplets, which is going to give it an entirely different feeling. Entirely different feeling, or probably the funkiest option of all, 16ths on the hi-hat. Okay, another fascinating area of study in the funk is how to deal with the bass drum. And there's a great book by Gary Chaffee called Time Functioning Patterns. And it has in it a great exercise which is called the fat back exercise. And this exercise starts with the 1 and the 2. But all you're doing simply in this exercise is varying the bass drum in the first beat. Right? So the basic beat is just boom, crack, boom, crack. But in the fatback exercises, the instructions are to vary the bass drum on the first beat by either doubling it, right? Or by doing 16ths, or by doing rests and then 16ths, rest, right? Or by doing eighths, boom, boom, crack. So this is a fascinating sort of variety that if you're mixing this up in your Logic file, or if you're playing on the kit, you can get into lots of interesting variations by varying the bass drum. So here I go, I'm going to just play some stuff and just a couple little variations. There's a big difference between boom, boom, crack, or boom, 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 crack, or ip, ip, crack. All these different possibilities that you can get to program your funk to get your funk variations happening. So that is the funk on the kit. Again, you have a basic choice between your eighths, your triplets, or probably the most funky option of all, your 16ths. All right, happy funking.